EAX. What we are taking as u? We are taking u as a power function, remaining as dv. But here we are going to change the process. We have to take u always as the exponential one and the remaining as dv. So it depends on the problem. For example, I'm going to choose the simplest one. You have ex cosine x dx. Now, you got the exponential multiplied by the trigonometry function. I have to choose the first part as u and the remaining, namely cosine x dx as dv. In formula we have u du and v dv. So basically here you have to define the derivative. If I define derivative, it is going to be itself, but we cannot forget about our dx. And you have taken the integral. The integral of the cosine x is going to give you sine x. Now I have to substitute. According to formula, we have to have u times v ex sine x minus v times du. So you're going to have ex and sine x dx. But the problem is, here we still have to define the integration by parts. So for that reason, the first part remains all the same. And you have to take the second part and solve it by parts once again. So I'm going to choose ex as the u function and the remaining one as dv. So du is the same. It is going to be exponential dx. I'm taking dv means that I have to integrate the sine function. Integral of the sine is going to give you negative cosine. But we still have the problem because it doesn't matter how many times you apply the integration by parts, you're going to have the same type of the problem. You will have either exponential multiplied by sine or exponential multiplied by the cosine. Because as you can see, we got u times v minus v times du. You will have to go back to the same problem that you're given. So what is the trick here? Whenever you have exponential multiplied by sine or cosine, you have to apply the integration by parts twice and stop there. According to the result, we have to continue with the equation. So let's see. It is going to be equal to what? And by the way, when you're given this kind of problem, don't write just equalities there. Copy it, because we are going to try to solve it in terms of the equation. Ex cosine x dx, we are given, is equal to, the first part remains all the same. And instead of the second part, what I'm going to do, I have to copy the result of the integration by parts. It is going to be u times v. So we will have negative ex cosine x